Blake Bozeman here, founder and executive director at the Pivot Group. We're here at the Sports and Business Career Transitioning Workshops.
My name is Brian Inge, CEO and founder of Inge Consulting Group, and I'm also the general manager of D&B Elite Showcase Events. This is year 4 of our Sports and Business series. The first 3 years we've led our Sports and Business Career Transitioning Symposium. This year, Blake and myself, due to COVID and more or less from the response we've had from the participants the last 3 years, we put on a workshop, 3 sets of workshops that are geared to helping student athletes see the benefit in real estate, personal finance, and also sports analytics and data analytics in general.
Hi, I'm Frank Evans, branch manager at Sampson Properties, one of the fastest growing real estate companies right now in the DMV. It's an honor to be here and help out with the youth. The investment side is a piece that, you don't want to get too old to be thinking about, because the curve is a little shorter, especially when it's when you want to compare renting or owning something. A lot of people didn't start with those big houses that we drive by in PG County. Some of them started with a condo or townhouse and sold it because it gained equity and bought those big houses. So just to have an idea that if you can afford an apartment, you probably can afford a mortgage. So if you can get qualified for an apartment, you might be able to get qualified for a mortgage, at least look into it. So just to have that insight, I think it's important, and it builds generational wealth, because it's something that's an asset you can put on, give it to your kids and generations after you.
My name is Rashid Dupree. I go to Cape College Preparatory in Northeast. Today's workshop, it was very good, very educational for young student athletes to come out and just sit and learn for free. Today I mostly took in the process of investing and starting to learn more about the business side of making money, and just doing it early, not better than late. I think we went over probably 5 different opportunities, or I want to say routes we can take to manage money, to get money, or to even start our own business.
My name is Jordan Jackson. I attend Bishop McNamara High School. I could say that it helped me to realize that even though I have time to figure out my career, it could just help me to figure out now what I want to do, so I can stick with a trade, so it can help me even after basketball, even if I don't have a career anymore, or if it stops early, or if it doesn't stop, I can still have something to fall back on and just do both at the same time.
We've been able to, as an area, build such an incredible reputation around the country for having high-level talent, both in boys and girls basketball, and of course football as well. This has always been a hotbed for recruiting, but our goal here is to also develop equally successful and impressive young men and women that can, that have the resources and the knowledge and the relationships to be successful outside of sports as well.
Hi, my name is Aquania Escarne, and I'm a wealth strategist that helps people build wealth and maximize their income. I think it's really important for students to know other opportunities available to them, and I feel that although they are talented athletes, they may need to think about what would they do with their money outside of sports and how they could maximize that income. And so one of the things we talked about was, what do you do if you can't play your sport? What are some things you can do around that sport that still can generate income for you and allow you to be involved, but you may not be the center athlete at the time? And I think that's important because it makes students think outside of what they only think is their possible opportunity. I'm going to be an athlete, versus someone who contributes to helping other athletes but still gets to stay in a space where they can watch sports, be a part of sports. And I think it's important to start with that idea as early as possible so that they have more options to choose after college. The biggest thing is people don't start saving early enough, and they don't realize that the later you start, the more you have to save. So So for example, at 20 years old, if you save $100 a month, you can have almost $900,000 by retirement. So that's almost $1 million, and you only needed to save $100 a month. But if you waited into your 30s or 40s to do that, and you still were trying to do it by retirement, you wouldn't make that goal by far, and you wouldn't have as much time for the money invested to grow.
My name is Terrence Butler. I go to Bishop McNamara High School, and I'm committed to Drexel University. Today I learned a lot about investing into my future and learned that the work you put in now can really make a difference. More so relationships, starting building relationships now, your temperament, how you react, learning to talk to your sports information director, just working with relationships. You know, once you invest into a house, if you know how to do like the plumbing or do certain parts of the house, you don't have to pay for someone else to come, and it kind of builds more of your own money.
My name is Marcellus Bowie. I'm the founder of Legit Sports Stats. I felt like it was great to come here today because it's giving opportunities to student athletes, future student athletes that are not going to be playing basketball or playing their sport once their career is over. I know within the sports analytics industry, a lot of people are looking for opportunities and aren't able to get them because they don't really have a chance to gain the experience. I think this is a chance for high school athletes to gain the experience before, far before the career, their ball stops bouncing in a sense, and they're kind of able to really be able to know what they have a chance to get into. It's looking like the sports industry is just following the rest of business. As we get kind of more into sports and sports business grows into be a bigger field, I noticed that the numbers really matter because it disputes a lot of things what we see in the eye test. I know that in recruiting it matters because there's plenty of times when a guy might be 7 feet, but he's not grabbing all the rebounds. There might be a guy that's 6'6" grabbing the most rebounds. So those kind of things really matter in recruiting. They matter in personnel decisions on the professional level. And even on the collegiate level. So it's really good for, I feel like, a lot of these student athletes to not only know that these can be job opportunities, but how they're being evaluated and recruited and the opportunities that kind of exist for them in the future, especially, like I said, for minorities, because we continue to talk about the fact that it's not enough minorities in front offices, but a lot of people aren't necessarily doing anything about it other than talking about it. So I feel like that's an opportunity that we could say, here we are providing opportunities for you to have those opportunities in the future. We're laying the foundation for them to say that before you even get to college and you've taken any classes, you've already got a foundation that people that have graduated college don't have. So, you could walk out of college and with 5 years of experience essentially and right into an NBA front office and, have a potential job opportunity.
We've had some great turnout from some great local high schools, and it's something that we plan to roll out in the future. The main thing that we wanted to provide these student athletes was just insight or more hands-on experience into what they can expect in the real world.
All right, my name is Chuck Henry, boys basketball coach at Fairmont Heights High School. It's kind of my secondary job. I work in the federal government. I'm a guy who realized I wasn't gonna play basketball for the rest of my life. Just thinking about that and thinking about the kids that I coach, we don't really truly have NBA talent at our school. So I think it's important to bring these guys to something like this every year to make sure that they have an understanding of, hey, what do I do once the basketball stops bouncing for me? So this is the third year I've been coming. And I think it's important because every year, every time I come back, it's something different. So my guys always gain some valuable knowledge every year. The leaders of this symposium, they can give valuable, relevant information because they've been there. It's very important for my kids to understand and hear from someone who's been in their shoes before, because it gives them a practical, real life example of, hey, I may not be successful in regards to getting to the NBA or getting overseas to play basketball, but here's some other avenues that one, I can be connected to the sport that I love, and two, I can take all of this experience that I've learned through high school, through college, and now can transition it into the real world. I have someone who can be an example for that. So it's always good for my kids to hear from people who have been in their shoes. And have been places that they want to go, so now they can learn how to make those goals or how to set those goals and achieve those goals because they have a mentor right in front of them who's been there before. So I love coming here. It's been very valuable not only to my student athletes but to myself as well. I learned some things today about financial literacy, about fixing and flipping homes, things that a lot of our kids in my school don't get exposed to. So truly valuable information, and I'm going to continue to come back every year because these guys do such a special job of making sure that these young men gain valuable knowledge, but it's done in a manner of which it's not boring. It captivates them, it catches their attention.
Some of the pitfalls that we all experience as athletes coming out of college, trying to find our way and not knowing what to do. For them to get exposed to that early, to enter college with an idea of what they want to do when they finish playing ball, you can't put a price tag on that. So, we're incredibly appreciative, and it's been a great morning with the workshops today. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Blizzy Does It, and keep up to date with the Pivot Group. The Pivot Group is a nonprofit organization, so we will continue to roll out different events like this. We take charge to lead fundraising activities to provide resources and opportunities to student athletes in the DC, Prince George's County area, in different counties connected in Maryland as well. So you can follow at _Pivot Group on Instagram, and we look forward to being able to deliver more and more resources and opportunities to student athletes to better themselves and to prepare them for life after sports. Thanks.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at therealb.eng, and also Inge Consulting Group, INGE Consulting GRP. And Brian out.